What's up, guys? My name is Wilson. James Harden is one of the best players in the NBA, and his MVP is way overdue. Just give it to him already. Harden and the Rockets are on fire this season. 2 months into the season, the Houston Rockets have the best record in the NBA, led by their best player James Harden, who has been playing out of his mind. Over the years, Harden has been putting up incredible stats and producing at a high level. One of the most underappreciated superstars in our generation, it seems like Harden never gets the recognition he deserves. One can make the case that he was snubbed from winning MVP twice, one in 2015 and also last year. One of the most controversial topics in basketball, there have been many times that the best player on one of the top teams didn't always win the award. For instance, last season where Russell Westbrook won it as a 6th seed in the Western Conference, while the Thunder finished with just 47 wins compared to Harden's Rockets with 55. Although Westbrook deserved the award and had a historic season without Kevin Durant, it made sense for the media to write an incredible storyline on Westbrook's accomplishments. Even though Harden put up similar numbers and was just as good as Westbrook, had a better record because Westbrook averaged the triple-double, that was the difference of the outcome. So it made sense for the media to give it to Westbrook, but take away one rebound and add one assist, Russ doesn't average that triple-double, it would be obvious that James Harden would have won MVP. I know James Harden gets heavily criticized for his lack of defense at times and gets bashed for his poor playoff performances when his team needed him most. It's easy to blame a superstar player for not coming through. Every time Harden gets scrutinized, he comes back stronger year after year, just plays better than ever before. Now with Chris Paul on his side, better chances are ahead for late May and even early June. At the age of 28 and in the prime of his career, Harden is destined to prove doubters wrong, as his Rockets will also be the team that has the biggest shot in knocking off the Golden State Warriors this season. In 2015, when Steph Curry stumped out James Harden for the MVP and received 100 of the 131st place votes, Harden felt bitter and wasn't too pleased. And he has a point. Golden State had a way better team than the Rockets, and Houston was nagging off injuries that season with Dwight Howard missing half the season, and Harden still led the Rockets to the number 2 seed in the loaded Western Conference. Houston was ranked 29 on offense without Harden on the floor, only second worst behind the tanking Sixers. Think about that for a minute. In the Players Association, Harden was voted in as the most valuable player at the end of the 2015 season, a different perspective from the media. The following year, the Rockets had a disappointing season, finishing just 500 and was bounced by Golden State in the first round in 5 games. What was even more shocking was that Harden didn't even make an All-NBA team that season, and look at those historic numbers he's put up. The only other players to average at least 29.7.5 assists and 6 rebounds were Oscar Robertson, John Havlicek, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Russell Westbrook of last season, along with James Harden. They were all selected as first-team All-NBA, while LeBron and Westbrook took home the MVP honors. Also, very despicable that Harden was left out on the All-NBA third team. And DeAndre Jordan made the first team? Talk about a travesty. Before Russell Westbrook won the MVP over Harden last season, all the MVPs from the previous 28 seasons were on teams who finished at least first or second in their respective conferences. If Kobe Bryant dropping 81 and Dwayne Wade averaging 30 plus were snubbed from winning MVPs with their incredible numbers on mediocre teams, so should have Westbrook. But because of how great he played without KD and averaging a triple-double, I get it. After many disappointments in the past few seasons, the Rockets are on pace to win over 65 games this year, and since Chris Paul has returned from injury, Houston has been undefeated and Harden plays even better with CP in the lineup. There have also been many questions whether Paul and Harden can play on the floor at the same time. So far, the backcourt has been coexisting perfectly. Although Harden's assist numbers will drop with Paul running the point for the majority of the games, James is just as deadly as anybody in the league moving without the ball and is one of the best spot-up shooters we have in the NBA. Harden has made over 100 threes this season and is even on pace to break Steph Curry's single-season record set 2 years ago. How scary is that? In the comeback win over the Blazers last week, the basketball world finally got to see a glimpse of Paul and Harden working together in crunch time. While Houston rallied from a 14-point fourth quarter deficit, Harden went bananas, dropping 48 and was abusing guys right and left. Just ask Noah Vonleh. Harden and CP combined for 25 points and 5 assists in the fourth, accounted for all but 2 of the Rockets' 40 points in the final period. Although Paul is already 32 years old, his defensive effort and basketball IQ makes Houston a more deadly team from the perimeter, while Harden will close out games down the stretch, something that was very difficult with the Clippers for Paul. A lot remains to be seen in the upcoming weeks, but there is no doubt the Rockets can finish as the #1 seed overall and will give the Warriors a run for their money. My preseason MVP prediction was Kyrie Irving, and although that remains a possibility with the Celtics playing outstanding basketball, Kyrie's numbers have not been as good as Harden's, with some nights not needing to score and take over as much, while Harden has not scored below 21 points in any games this season, and already has 3 games scoring 48 points or more. Simply remarkable. The Beard also scored at least 20 points and dished out 7 dimes in the first 22 games of the season. Talk about consistency at its finest. When it comes to talking MVP, LeBron James should always be in the conversation every year and has been playing unbelievable, putting up insane numbers for a guy in his 15th season. Cleveland, however, already lost too many games to below average teams at the start and have been playing too many close games against bad teams which they should be blowing out. The Cavs simply won't win as many games as Houston, as LeBron is more focused on April, May, and June. The only other player putting up astonishing numbers similar to the two Jameses, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who you can officially say is a superstar and is one of the top 7 or 8 players in the NBA. Possessing a scary upside with all-time great potential, the Bucks are simply too inconsistent with their young core and will go through some up and downs over the course of the season and will probably fall short of winning 50 games. The Greek Freak might end up winning multiple MVPs over the next decade, but will need to wait his time. Those 4 are the only legitimate candidates in my opinion, as the race is looking great for James Harden. OKC is still struggling with their big 3, and Golden State is just too loaded with 4 incredible All-Stars. Let's hope the voters will get it right and give James Harden the respect he deserves, as I am 100% confident that James Harden will win the 2017-18 NBA Most Valuable Player. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know who you think is MVP on the comments below. More good stuff coming soon. See you next time.